Hello students, welcome to CrackGradeB online learning platform. Today we have special guest with us, Miss Akanksha Patel. She has cracked RBI Grade B 2022 exam in her first attempt. She is a chemical engineer, and first of all, many congratulations to you.
Thank you so much.
And she will share her journey, how she has prepared for this exam. So Akanksha, students want to know that how you have prepared phase 1, phase 2 and interview, and you have cleared in the first attempt. So many of the students used to ask that it is possible to crack in the first attempt. So you here sees an example that you can crack the exam in first attempt itself. If you will prepare with hard work. So she will share her journey. Yes.
So like before starting this conversation about a strategy, I would like to say that I was initially preparing for GATE during my final year, and for RBI or other regulatory bodies exam I started in May or June 2021 itself. And since then I have been constantly preparing for this regulatory bodies exam, and I have attempted NABARD, SEBI and then RBI. And sir, I would like to say that some people who feel like you need some UPSC background or IIT IIM background or any finance or banking experience, I had none of these. So I can say that anybody who wants to like pursue this as a career, they can definitely vouch for them. So sir, if I start with my phase 1 preparation, like
just before that, one question that you are a chemical
Yes,
engineer.
chemical.
So you are preparing for the GATE.
Yes.
So what comes in your mind that you switched your profile, means from engineering to this banking?
So in PSU, like the work culture there, it was something like in the back of my mind I was preparing for PSU, but in the back of my mind I was having this thought ki afterwards I have to go for something non-technical, because that was not my cup of tea. I found the work culture there, it's quite monotonous, or it's like fertilizers or refineries industries, those never fascinated me. So sir, I thought ki once I land up in any PSU, and after that I will go for some non-technical. So this RBI and other regulatory bodies thing I personally got to know from my brother. He is working in a bank, so I got to know from him, and then I invested some time, like 1 month or 2 months, to know how the job is. So then I found it quite fascinating, so that's how I switched to this.
So now comes to the phase 1 preparation. There are 4 different sections in the phase 1.
Yes.
Quant, reasoning, English and general awareness part. What were the sources you followed? And we have seen that cutoff has decreased since last 2 years. Paper questions level has been increased in GA, quant, reasoning, tough type questions are being asked. So how did you manage? What were your sources to follow to prepare these sections specifically, and how many months current affair you prepared?
So firstly I'll start with the GA portion because it has the highest weightage, 80 marks, and this is something which people find it overwhelming sometimes, because there is a lot of stuff in GA to remember. And so for that I would say please try at least 6 months current affair, and if possible do 3 months current affair very thoroughly, like because this time also they have asked mostly the recent ones. So for current affair, the sources I would say I have followed Affairs Cloud thoroughly, and then I have gone through CrackGradeB PIB compilation, weekly PIB compilation, because there they cover all the schemes and all the reports, so those are very helpful for phase 1 as well as for phase 2 also. Then I have also gone through RBI circulars which are provided by CrackGradeB, and then ESI and finance section is also there, so that I have also referred. And then I would like to say that before starting this GA preparation, it is advisable to go through the previous year questions first. Like in previous year, just go through yourself, I would say, because coachings, they are providing segregated material, but when you go yourself through that, you will better understand how the questions are asked. So firstly, it's advisable to go through like previous year questions in such a way you can segregate the portions, like schemes, what kind of questions are asked, then ranks, what kind of questions are asked, because they are not asking some direct questions, there are some indirect questions always, because now the pattern has totally changed. Like in 2021 and 22, it is considered as a difficult one. So I would say yes, for GA you have to do 6 months and 3 months very thoroughly. And sir, for next English, for English I can say I did not refer any book specifically, but I read newspapers daily, especially focusing on articles. The Hindu, Indian Express or Economic Times. So especially focusing on articles, those helped. And next thing I have practiced from mock, like practice mock is there. So I have practiced English, sectional English from that only. And sir, quant and reasoning. For quant, I have done basically the sectional mocks, like it was from the practice mock itself, practice mock also, and CrackGradeB also provides those, some mocks are there. So I followed that also. And if I say about the teacher, when I used to get stuck in some of the topics, so I would follow for quant, Arun sir is there, Ashish Arora sir is there. They are like basically focusing on banking aspirants, but those were also helpful to clear some of the doubts. Then I have followed for reasoning Ankush Lamba sir. So those were helpful, and I would say through consistency, like one can devote 1 hour a day to quant and reasoning, and it will be doable. Because now the pattern has changed, so one has to focus from the very easy level to moderate as well as to the higher level. So needs to be focused in all the aspects.
Yes, level in last 2 years it is really difficult, and even cutoff is drastically decreased.
Yes,
so students are actually, there are also myths that specifically for the this current affair part, students used to refer multiple sources also, that 1 year current affair they should follow, they should read from newspaper, they should read from RBI website, they should read PIB. So did you follow these websites like RBI website, PIB yourself?
Sir, I think it is not advisable to go through all the sources. Instead, just follow one source, stick to that source, because in my case, I followed Affairs Cloud plus additional supplements of CrackGradeB, and that helped me.
Yes.
And I was able to like find questions which were there, I have already read. So I would say just do not like go through all the sources, just trust in one source, follow that, and you will sail through.
Okay. And number of students also used to ask this question: what should be the daily schedule while preparation? Specifically for phase 1 we can discuss, or phase 2 also, if you are you were preparing parallel both phases, or you started first for phase 1 and
Sir, I would say one should start parallelly both the things, because the GA part, it's both
common.
It's common in both the thing, phase 1 and phase 2, and that additional one, that is quant and reasoning, that you have to do separately, like daily, on the daily basis, and rest of the things should be covered like phase 1 as well as phase 2, because after phase 1 you do not have much time, it's just 20 days I think. So one should prepare integrated approach, one should follow that integrated approach.
And how many hours you used to spend during your preparation daily basis on your for this preparation purpose only?
So I can't count on those hours, but I would say I used to make target in my copy, like I'll do this thing today, and these many hours I'll devote to quant, these many hours I'll devote to reasoning, and then GA part I'll follow. So I would say on the basis of your compatibility or what you feel like, if you're working, I was not working, I was full aspirant. So I would say based on your instinct, you should follow how it goes. Like for me, it was like that.
Okay. One more question generally students experience during their preparation. There is always a fear of failure.
Yes.
If someone is preparing for exams, you have appeared like in NABARD, SEBI, and while attempting this RBI, you also have maybe having in your mind that what will be happen, I will be able to clear the cutoff or not. So then how did you overcome this fear?
So I think this is the thought which every aspirant goes through. So I would say, like when I started with the NABARD preparation, I could not clear pre with 0.25 marks. It was my mistake. I could not attempt questions, and that's how it went. But that preparation, because I did not give up that time. That preparation of mains, because I started mains preparation, I was confident that I'll clear pre. So I started at that time only for preparing mains. So that ESI portion of NABARD has helped me here also, because the ESI is also there in RBI. So I would say just do not get into failure, but it's said that what you do after that failure, it matters a lot. So that helped me here. And then when I was preparing for SEBI, I could clear pre, but in mains I was out by 8 marks. So that in SEBI, that finance preparation, it helped me a lot during this, because finance was something I had never heard of. Like I have in school also, during college also, I have never like read finance. So those were very confusing. Some topics, even GDP, GNP. So these are very confusing topics. You need some like time to spend. So that's why I also referred initially Mrunal sir videos for economics. So those were also helpful just to develop a basic understanding. So I would say ki if you are failing, it is said that fail and rise like a phoenix. So if you're failing, that is good because you have something better in your hand. So that's how.
Also, one more question that when you are going to attempt the exam, it means final day, phase 1 or phase 2, also have fear in mind that what will happen, whether I will be able to attempt the question or not. Then what should a student take care of the such things what you followed in during the exam?
So I would say just stay calm and do not go with the preconceived notion, because this mistake I have done this time during in my mains English. It was this time they have asked essay for 600 words, but I had this preconception in mind that it is of 400 words as per the previous pattern. So I did not see there, and I wrote just 407 words, and when I came back home I saw it was of 600 words. So this I had fear that maybe I failed because of this, but eventually did not happen. So I would say just do not go with the preconceived notion ki this will be the cutoff, I have to attempt this much, because the pattern can change drastically anytime. It can be easy, it can be difficult, so you have to just go with the flow. And if it is difficult for everyone. Just do not bog yourself down. So I would say just stay calm, be positive, and if you have prepared well, if you have honesty in yourself, you will definitely sail through.
Okay. So now comes to the phase 2 preparation. What were the major resources you followed?
Yes. So for phase 2, I have like purchased CrackGradeB. So what I used to do is I used to take the printout of the finance as well as management portion. So because printout is like I used to read from the printout and not from the laptop or something. So printouts have helped me because I used to read them multiple times to develop an understanding ki this finance, all the points were covered and all those things. So through those readings, I think that is beneficial for me, and it can also help others if they can vouch for that, because schemes are there, the PDFs, they are very helpful. So I also took the printout of them and I used to read them a lot. So because you need multiple readings in all these kinds of exam. So sir, for this one.
And what were the major sources for your preparation, specifically economics and social issue, finance and management, and also in this section also students have different opinion, and there are multiple opinions of earlier selected candidates also. One should daily follow PIB, one should daily follow newspaper, one should daily follow RBI website. For schemes they should refer government scheme, government ministry website, and for report section they should read from the original source. Did you follow any of these strategy?
Sir, I have what followed is like as I said that I used to take the printout of one source, like I followed CrackGradeB. So for schemes, for you have also provided those model answers. I took the printout of them also. Those were helpful because I could like connect with those questions. So for them like ESI, there are some topic wise like child issue, SDG, or other environment kind of things. So there were all those PDFs are available. So I used to read them, and what I used to do is pick one question a day, and I used to like pick, for example, global financial crisis. I used to take and then cover all the dimensions related to that through the PDFs and all that, or through other sources. Like I also read like GS mains paper 3, it's Drishti IS. They provide model answers. So sometimes that is also helpful because I found that directly one question from there was there. And in CrackGradeB, when I wrote that mock, I found that monetary policy question was directly from there. So it was helpful for me. So I found it like quite helpful.
So you did not follow any like yourself PIB website?
No,
or
sir, not PIB website.
Okay. And how many months current affair followed you for the phase 2 specifically, so ESI finance news?
So for phase 2 also, like in ESI objective, if one say, schemes are important plus your reports, indexes, these are important. So one should be like well aware of the segregation part, like what you have to read and what you don't have to read. Like for that I followed PIB compilations of CrackGradeB, so there it was also covered, all things were covered. And at that time I did not follow Affairs Cloud because I think it was not required at that time. So, and especially I mainly focused on answer writing because this was new for me. So
Yes.
I practiced a lot, and what I used to do is take one question, as I said, one topic, one question, and then I would devote that entire day for that topic, would consider one question and would write on that in that stipulated time, 400 or 600 words. So yes, this way.
And also this descriptive, out of 300, 200 marks are allocated. So major
Yes,
focus
major.
you should keep on this.
Yes, sir, because we have already done GA part in our
Yes.
phase 1. So now we have to just pick the most important things according to the previous year trend.
Yes.
So that's
So how many months current affair and
so 6 months
aspirants?
should be done. Yes, sir, 6 months.
Okay. So as this exam is phase 1 and phase 2, there is a gap of only 20 to 30 days.
Yes, sir.
So how did you manage that short time?
So as I said that I was preparing like beforehand for phase 2 also, and just before the pre, it can be said that 10 to 15 days before pre I started to give like full attention to pre, but before that I was doing both mains, answer writing thing, and this quant and reasoning thing. So because we know that it's just 15 or 20 days after result, so we can't like handle, so much pressure is there, so we can't handle that in that stipulated so much a small time. So I would say just be focused beforehand, and you can practice for phase 2 just 2 or 3 months before, and it will definitely help.
For this preparation of RBI Grade B, when did you start seriously preparing, targeting RBI?
So only RBI.
Yes.
So as I said that I was preparing for NABARD, so that ESI portion was
Yes.
covered there. I gave SEBI, so finance was prepared. So for when SEBI mains took in April, I guess 2022. So in mains I was out, so by 8 marks. So just after that, I knew there were speculations that RBI notification will come. So I started full focusing on RBI. So just
Okay. So now comes to the interview part. Interviews also 75 marks are allotted, and it is an important means it play an important role in your selection, final selection.
Yes.
Even if you are at the bottom of the phase 2 cutoff, then if you will get good marks in the interview, then you can secure your seat in the final list. So how did you prepare for the interview, and what was your interview experience with the RBI board?
Sir, I can say that interview is something which has the highest weightage in RBI, I would say. It's 75 marks, and it is the break or make something. So one should never neglect interview. I had interview, like I was having just less time. It was 25 days because I had in the starting only 8th of August. So for me, I was to prepare in those time interval. So for that, I would say one should never neglect the mocks. I also did a mock with Rahul sir. He helped me a lot in preparing. So CrackGradeB, and after that I attempted other mocks also 2-3. So if time allots, you can attempt 2-3 mocks because that develops a confidence.
Yes.
And that definitely helps there in the real interview. So apart from these mocks, one should always prepare for the current happenings which are going on, because they can ask you general questions regarding economy or anything in common. And also one should refer RBI website at that time, because it becomes very important, because the bulletins are important, the current governor speeches, if they are also important. So one should thoroughly go with the RBI website during interview phase. And apart from that, there are some basic HR questions. So you should prepare thoroughly, because these are the questions which they'll ask you. Like in my case, they asked me why you want to do RBI, and because this chairman sir has started saying that you are a fresher, you could go to like refineries or something like that. So why you switched to this RBI thing? So I said, so this was his question. So after that, he started asking about regulatory sandbox and other questions. Chairman sir started, and so this is how it went. Like it was okay. 20 minutes, I guess, my interview went, and the questions were like general, because I did not have any experience, banking experience, or I did not have any like working experience. So they asked me NEP, National Education Policy, was also asked. Ma'am started asking like some opinion-based questions were there, like, and there were some basic banking-related questions were there. import, export, something like that. So all these general questions were there.
And one more question, as you were preparing for this exam, so at some stage you have made, if any mistake you did during your preparation, that you will advise to the future aspirant, they should not do this mistake.
So mistake in the sense, never neglect phase 1, because people they do, because they have sometimes they develop overconfidence that they'll clear phase 1, because but it can be said that never neglect phase 1, because 98-99% people, they are out in phase 1 itself. So, and it is, for me, personally I would say it is the most difficult part for me also. So never neglect phase 1, first thing. Then follow the current affairs, if you can follow the daily basis or something like that. Do revision multiple times. Revision is the most important thing. And next, read the questions very carefully in exam. Like sometimes it happens, it is in the question, it is written not, and you are not looking at that not, and you are just climbing into the question. So sometimes it also.
Yeah, and we have seen that many of students used to miss title of the press.
Yes, the title of the press.
And question number of the essay. They
these are
forget
like
to
basic
mention.
things one should always keep in mind.
One more question, that in this competitive world there are number of platforms available with aggressive marketing also. And how should you, how did you find CrackGradeB, and how did you filter out others platform?
So it was like, first, cost effective. First thing was that it was cost effective. Second thing, it is not that bulky. Like it is doable. One can take and one can do if he wants or see. So, and others, if someone is working or has less time to prepare for, one can go definitely for CrackGradeB, because it's quite doable. Its mocks are also good. The teachers are good, and so yeah, one can go for this.
And we wish you good luck for your journey, and thank you again joining this session.
Thank you so much.